Good evening, guys, and welcome to the long-awaited info video for CWC's Season 3. Really excited for it. I've been really busy. Sorry it's taken longer than anticipated, but I've been trying to sort this out. It's been quite an ordeal. I didn't want to release any sort of false information or and then watching a bunch of things switch around and stuff like that. So I wanted to wait till it was pretty much set in stone, which it is well in advance. We still got 3 weeks until the first race, but we'll get more into the calendar later on. It's not going to be a super long video. We're going to dive straight in. We're going to wrap up sort of Season 2. Most people know this, but I just think some people deserve a bit of recognition. And then we'll go into the calendars, the cars, who's where, who's sitting in what seat, and yeah, we'll go from there. So as I just mentioned, we're going to start with some Season 2 champions and the accolades. So in terms of trophies and stuff like that, yes, there are trophies. There will be trophies for Season 3 as well. I'm waiting to get them back from the printers. I had to resend out the new logo that I designed, so I'm waiting on that. As soon as I get them back, I'll be posting pictures of them, and people will be needing to let me know where they want them sent, etc. So we'll dive straight into it. We've got first and foremost F1. I understand F1 wasn't a complete season due to kind of lots of things. F1's by far the most difficult of all the tiers to sort of deal with, but we expanded really quickly. I think that was a bit of a part to play with how Season 2 went. Nevertheless, this guy, Zach, completely deserves any and all recognition. He's been brilliant. He was in the roster for the first 14 drivers back in November when CWC did its first race. Had no clue that it was going to be where it is now. But here we are. He was there. He's still here. Dedication at its finest. If any league wants a driver, Zach's the man. He's Facebook Messenger. He's super reliable, super clean, super quick. Anything you want from a driver. Runners up, Medium Pilot and Rafa, those two guys equally is impressive. All three of these guys taking part in Season 3, so it's good to see these top guys back. Drivers Champion Zach, I believe we got, so we got a little rundown of where we did get to. We got to Monaco. Zach's just consistent, always banging in points. Most of these guys that are on here are coming back for Season 3, which is good, but like I said, it stopped in Canada, unfortunately, because of many reasons, and I think that it was just a bit late in the year. The new game was coming out soon, and yeah, people kind of got disinterested. I get that, but hopefully we'll have a solid start to Season 3. We got a full 20 roster across the board for all 3 tiers, so that's a good start with 3 weeks to go. F2 champion, again, couldn't appreciate this guy enough. Brandon Glover did fantastic in Season 2, super consistent, bagged loads of points. Any league that needs a driver, fully recommend this guy, as well as Dane and Midnight. Midnight, obviously part of one of the best races or battles I've ever seen. We'll get to that in a bit. Yeah, Brandon Glover, he absolutely smashed Season 2. Super consistent. I mean, look at that. 4 races. Is that, yeah, 4 races. He wasn't on the podium, and only 2 times he got third. The rest was second and a win. So really well done to him. Dane could have given him a run for his money, but Dane couldn't make the last few races, unfortunately. Midnight, again, super consistent, so really impressive from Midnight. A lot of these guys, I say a lot of them, there's a good chunk of them coming back for Season 3, which is great. We had a really good group of guys come in, like Mercedes and Silas, Legende, who were just solid performers, so big respect to those guys for coming in. Constructors went to Dane and Midnight, so really well done, both of you guys, super consistent. So again, everyone that's being listed right now is going to be sent, or will have the opportunity to be sent, some CWC trophies or medals. There's the constructors for F2. Brandon Glover put in a great effort for trying to catch up to those guys, but in the end it just wasn't quite enough. Yeah, so really well done to everyone in F2 for Season 2. Drivers Champion for F3. F3 by far the most consistent tier in CWC. I'm hoping F2 definitely picked up towards the end. It was great, but yeah, F3, fair play to all the guys in F3, and especially this guy, Oi Asahina, for picking up the Drivers Champion for Season 2 F3 League. He will be moving up to the F2 tier in Season 3, and Partridge and Scanny picking up the runners-up medals there. Those guys putting in great effort towards the end. Or any league looking for a driver, I'd recommend most of these guys. Brilliant stuff throughout the year, especially those Haas boys, PWD boys. In the Haas car, those guys are a great addition. I'd recommend those guys to any league. But yeah, Asaina, faultless. He did really well. It was really close at the end, 8 points, splitting the difference between the top two. Scani not too far away either. It was a good battle for third as well. Yeah, so it was really good all around. Some great improvements as well in this league. I've seen a lot of drivers improve a lot, and the constructors does go to the PWD guys, Partridge and Watkins. So well done to those two. You will all be receiving drivers and constructors trophies and medals. So we're going into some accolades that I decided to pick out. Now these guys, you won't be getting a trophy, but there is a medal on offer just for some accolades. I think that these are worth pointing out. Anyone who wants to go and look at the CWC YouTube, go look for the F2 Britain race, Silverstone, and watch these guys, especially for sort of the last 15-20 minutes of the race. These two had an epic battle. That's Mercedes and Midnight. Insane stuff. It was brilliant to watch. A lot of people were saying it in the chat. Yeah, I'd highly recommend go and check this out. Well done for putting on the performance that you did lap after lap, wheel to wheel. It was brilliant stuff. Really, really good. Next up is most poles, Colo man. He was also close to the most bottles. Yeah, 6 poles throughout the season. Really good stuff. This guy has helped out a lot as well throughout sort of Season 1 and Season 2 in CWC. So respect to Colo. Fully deserved grabbing all those poles. I'm sure if things went your way, you could have been up there on the top 3 as well. But yeah, fair play for most poles. Now this guy Ivan, also in the F3 league. Ivan is by far the most improved driver. I didn't even have to ask anyone about this, because when Ivan first came into CWC, I don't know how to say this politely in PC, Ivan wasn't the quickest, I'll say that, but ended up pulling out some awesome performances. So really well done, awesome improvement. Hope it continues into Season 3. You've always got to have one of these. Spud, sorry man, but F2 driver Spud, 7 DNFs, biggest bottle job. I had to give it to someone. Spud got it this season, someone else will get it next season. Well, that's it for all the champions and accolades for Season 2. We're going to crack on with all the information you need to know for Season 3. Let's get on with it. So first I'm going to explain how I've devised the race calendar. So what I did was I divided the real race calendar into 3 sets of 7. Set 1, 2 and 3. So obviously the first set had Australia, China, Bahrain, Baku, etc. So the calendar's still kind of in an order-ish in terms of the real calendar, but with a bit of a mix. So yeah, I took the 3 sets of 7, and then I took out 5 from each section randomly, and that's how the season's gonna pan out in 3 terms. So we got 22nd of July to 26th of August. We have a week break. The week starting the 9th of September to the 14th of October in the second term. Then we have a week break. Then the third term, 28th of October to the week beginning 2nd of December. So I originally started with 5 to make a 15 race season, but I decided to add it 1 more into each term, so it's an 18 race season. It takes us nicely near sort of the winter break, which is ideal, I think, so we can start the new season come sort of January. So let's get into it anyway. The first term we have in race order: Australia, Baku, Spain, Canada, China and Bahrain. So they will take place between the 22nd of July and the 26th of August. I do have a little note up at the top: pre-season races. I want to be testing the Creator League system over those 2 weeks. So the 8th to the 9th of July and the 15th to the 16th of July. So that'll be next week. I'm going to be starting sort of a 2 race season in each tier, just to make sure it's all working right and we all get to grips with that system. So it'll be really ideal if as many of you as possible can turn up to that, to make sure we're going to be set. So yeah, first term: Australia, Baku, Spain, Canada, China, Bahrain. We'll have a week break, and the second term we will be in France, Belgium, Germany, Britain, Italy and Hungary. So you can see from the first 2 terms we have dodged a bullet with Monaco. I'm not going to complain too much about that, if I'm totally honest with you. Some people might be disappointed about that. Also, just to point out, this will be randomized every season from now on. This will be kind of the platform that we'll be doing this. So we'll be picking 18 races, I would assume, and randomizing it a little bit, losing 1 from each term. And the third term, we'll have another week break after the second term. Third term, 28th of October, Brazil, United Arab Emirates, Russia, Mexico, USA, and finishing it off in Japan. So there it is. This will be posted in the Discord, on the website, etc. All those good things. I'll be putting this in the PSN chats, which I'll be setting up as soon as I've finished recording this. Moving on to a little bit of information. So just so you know how the car selection worked, I did it in championship order. Everyone gave me 3 options. The first place in drivers got first pick, then the first place in constructors got their pick, and then second in drivers, and so on. It followed the drivers championship from there. That's how we'll be picking cars. It's pretty straightforward. A driver can request to pull a teammate with them should they be in the same league. So yeah, if you get first pick, you have every right to kind of pull a driver with you if you want. Just to let people know, we won't be doing custom cars this first season, obviously, but we will see how that pans out. If it's a feasible thing, then if we want custom cars, we might give that a shot at some point. We'll have to see how everyone feels about that. If guys aren't up for it, I'm not going to do it. But we'll see what happens anyway. Moving on. So that was how the car selection was done. Race day, not many things are going to change. F3 is on Mondays at 8 PM. F2 is on Tuesdays at 7 PM. F1 is on Tuesdays at 8 PM. It used to be at 8:15, but we're moving it to 8 PM. Just makes it a bit more straightforward. Race format, no changes as of yet. This may be subject to change depending on how the game is in general. I've not seen any issues that are going to change anything. The only big difference is this create a league thing. I think in terms of management, I mean, you guys know I do a lot of this on my own. Obviously have help, and thanks to those guys that do help, but I'm very busy. I do a lot of it on my own. So I think the create a league system could be a really good way of just keeping track of the season. If it doesn't work, I am going to be keeping data back from the races in case it goes tits up and I have to do it manually again, which is fine. But we are going to try and start with the Creator League system. It'll be cool because people will be able to check out the sort of standings and stuff like that, and the info is all there for you. It makes it easier for me to sort of copy and paste or take screenshots of what's going on to put on the websites and stuff. So we're going to keep it like that. Short quali, 50% race, no pit assists and no brake assists. Super straightforward, pretty much as it always was. Season 3 rules. So as I mentioned, create a league. That is the biggest implementation, I suppose, into CWC. Just a few small points. I'm going to mention it, and I mention it all the time. Recordings. One of the biggest problems with racing, F1, you know, the F1 community in general, is people bitching on each other, complaining. You know, it happens everywhere. People get upset. Yeah, fair enough. But the amount of bitching that happens, it's annoying and it's tough for a league owner. I'll go into more later on, but Nick, who runs One Hub, he put out a post not that long ago that sums it up beautifully. So if you want to head over to Nick Knockigan's Twitter, it's on there. I'd give it a read because it's really important for a lot of drivers to sort of listen to. Anyway, recordings. If drivers are not driving with the etiquette that is that you should be driving with, if you don't record it and I don't see it, I cannot do anything about it. It helps everyone. It helps the drivers who have committed it. If they know they've done something wrong, they're more likely to try and change. If they don't think they've done anything wrong without proof, they're not going to be able to change. So do yourselves a favor and just record your race. It's not difficult. Record it or don't moan about it, basically, is what I'm getting at. We've got a system in place. People will get punished. It'll be a bit stricter than it was last season as well, in terms of penalties and stuff like that, which is moving on to the next point. That is penalties. I can't give penalties by hearsay. If you tell me someone's done something wrong and don't show me, I can't do anything about it. Other things, if you can't make a race, just tell me in advance. I mean, 3 strikes and you're out is kind of the basic rule. If I don't hear from you, you'll be gone. If you can't make it, just let me know. Obviously, if it becomes a pattern, I've got to do something about it. That was kind of an F1 problem last season. People just not letting me know, and you trust drivers and they kind of let you down. So just make sure you let me or an admin know. Attitudes, these last 2 points are big in CWC, and it's all that I expect. Your attitudes on and off track, no matter how old you are or whatever the situation is, I expect just people to respect each other on and off the track at all times. If you get upset, that's fine. Deal with it the right way. Speak to an admin, speak to me. Most people know, if they message me, I'll happily have a long conversation, probably about why they're acting wrong. But just let me know if you've got a problem. Speak to me. The worst thing any of you guys can do is start moaning in the chats. It doesn't help anyone. And I've done it before, and I'll do it again. I'll just beat you out the chat because I haven't got time for that. I waste too much of my time on this. So yeah, just respect each other on and off the track. If someone's done something wrong, send it in. You've recorded it. Hopefully, it'll get dealt with. Simple as that. If you have done something wrong and you know it, you know, F3 is a beautiful example. 9 times out of 10, all the drivers were always just saying that they were in the wrong, and that's what I expect. If you've done it wrong, you've done it wrong. Admit it. Simple as that, and we move on. Straightforward, super straightforward. Commentary, F3 is going to continue to be done by Malk, the legend that is Malk, coming from TTG Esports. So fair play to him. He's done brilliant. Myself and Cola are available for the F2 and F1 comms. I am in the process of talking to a couple of people about adding to that roster. Honestly, it's more just to free myself up. I do enjoy doing comms, but I also need to kind of sort things out all the time. So if there is anyone who's interested, I am looking for a bit of a comms roster for people who might be up for doing comms. Obviously, you need to be capable of streaming, unless there's 2 of you. We can organize that. So yeah, comms are pretty much sorted, but I am looking for some additions to that. Roles, I've also kind of in the background, another thing not a lot of you know about, I've been reassessing the roles, league managers. It's really difficult for me as one person to be the first point of contact for all 3 leagues at the same time. So I'm also going to be giving each league kind of a point of contact, someone to go to if you've got a problem. There will be a list of admins, etc. In the Discord once that's sorted out in the info channel. It's not a massive role that takes up time. If it's something you might be interested in, let me know. Also, league hosts is always something that you stress out about, which is why last season I tried to do it myself most of the time. But I will be looking for just 2 people, one main person and a backup who is able to consistently host. Don't come to me if you know you've got a shit connection. I don't want to know about it. But if you know your internet's all good, you're trustworthy, you're reliable, let me know if you can be that person. We got 3 weeks, so we still got time, but I'd rather get it sort of out of the way this week, ready for the pre-seasons next week. That's that. Stewards have all been kind of reassessed and reshuffled. I've kind of got a couple of people from each tier. I could always do with 1 more if that's something that you'd be interested in, doing a bit of stewarding. Just let me know. This is all in an aim to streamline the process. CWC has never been about kind of overcomplicating things. I just want drivers to show up, respect each other, race. It sounds easy, it's really not, but that's the basis of CWC. If you can learn that, we'll get on just fine. Right. Oh, accidentally clicked it again. Here we go. Lineup. I felt like I needed a bit of a drum roll there or something, but I've already opened it up. So Season 3 driver lineup in the F1 tier. Zach and Silas will be taking up the Ferrari. Medium Pilot and Onyx will be taking up the Mercedes. Blizzard and Marquesas, aka Odems, will be taking up the Haas. Super Guy and Samu will be taking up the Alpha. Eloise, Mark and Matt will be taking up the McLaren. Raikkonen and Atraf Goat will be taking up the Red Bull. Sorry if I butcher any of these names. Samster and Rafael will be in the Renault. Mercedes and Liam Yo will be in the Williams. Nexus Suarez and Nexus Aspect will be in the Toro Rosso. And I have no clue how you say that guy's name. I think he's a part of Nexus. I'm not sure if he's part of Nexus. But we'll go with Greg. And Timmy Deneen will be in the Racing Point. Coming up with the F2 driver lineup, we've got S-Boy and Bothy Dweller in the Ferrari, Jorrit and Nick in the Mercedes, Legende and Jamie Morris in the Haas, Rusland and Willem Nels in the Alfa Romeo, Brettster and LTU Tom in the McLaren, Victor Haas and Rafix in the Red Bull, Nexus Chaos and Nexus Iceman in the Renault, Nexus Dynamic and Infinity 846 in the Williams, Weirspud and Raver's Revenge in the Toro Rosso, Robin the Boss and Oi Asahina, who obviously won F3 in the Racing Point. Moving on to the F3 drivers lineup, Mays and LFC in the Ferrari, Partridge and Watkins in the Mercedes, Ivan and Hennes in the Haas, Matty and Chris in the Alpha, Colo and Dimo in the McLaren, Stan and Tez in the Red Bull, Scanny and Ninja in the Renault, Booge and Sainz in the Williams, Ryan B and Nellis in the Toro Rosso, Assassin Bot and It's Cohen in the Racing Point. So there we go. These again will be put in the Discords and stuff like that, so you don't have to keep checking out this video for this information. They'll all be put in the right places. And just a shout out for some of our partnerships. LRL, I've been asked to do some sort of graphics and stuff for them. If you're looking for a league, Legacy Racing League on Saturdays at 8 PM, go check those guys out. TTG, obviously, shout out to these guys. F1 on Thursdays, 8 PM. Go check those guys out. Obviously, Malk does comms for us. He does an awesome job. PWD Racing, these guys have been awesome since they jumped into CWC. Love having these guys around. So fair play to you guys. You guys are you do everything right. So keep it up. A couple of shout outs. League of Europe. the guy who runs this is an awesome dude. Saturday 6 p.m. onwards, go check those guys out if you're looking for a Saturday league. Invictus, I personally race in Invictus. It's a great league. Wednesdays 8 p.m. if you're looking for a Wednesday league, that's the place to go. Big shout out to One Hub. I have to say Invictus is great as well, but One Hub, in terms of how it's run, it's just brilliant. I've got a lot of respect for Nick, and again, check out his post. He hits the nail on the head with a lot of things, so go and check that out. But if you're looking for a Friday league, 6:30 p.m. onwards, I believe that's when they start. Go and check out One Hub Racing. Brilliant league, get involved with it. And that's that. Any questions? I know I've rushed through it. I have no clue how this sounds because I'm just going to do it and upload it. Let me know. If you got any questions, just send us a message. I'm going to add everyone to some PSN chats, and we'll go from there. I'll see you guys soon. Peace out.